Hi everyone, my name is Gary. Welcome back to Spirit Tech. Today is going to be a little different from the usual Spiritual Essentials series, where we cover things that are easily provable, that a lot of people are already doing, such as meditation and affirmations, which are very useful for those who are getting into spirituality for the first time, or those who are already practicing spirituality, want to go back to the basics, maybe refine their practice in some way, get more insight into the science behind the benefits. But today we're going to talk about an idea fundamental to many spiritual traditions, and it is one that has been debated by scientists and philosophers for a long time. And that is, what is primary, matter or consciousness? Can we really influence our external reality with our thoughts and intentions? Many of you, just like myself, may say, well, of course you can. And you will probably have a few stories of experiences in your life where you were able to manifest circumstances and people just by thinking about them, applying intent towards a goal. A so-called manifestation, as described in works such as The Secret or Reality Transurfing, which is a really nice book or a series of books I recommend reading. But regardless of that, if you are someone with a skeptical mind, those things, even very interesting experiences, no matter how much unlikely coincidences will happen, a part of you will still doubt and say, well, that was a coincidence, or it's just my imagination, or the things that have happened not because I manifested them in my mind, but because of my hard work. And of course it's partially true. You can't manifest reality just by sitting on the couch and not doing anything. But how important really is directed intent and creative imagination in terms of creating your external reality? Fortunately, there is a way to find out very directly if your consciousness alone, without the action, actually affects things in the physical world. And that is what we're going to cover today. I'm going to show you an experiment that you can easily perform yourself, because this channel is about practical spirituality. So I'm not going to give you anything where you have to take my word for it. Everything in this channel is going to be things that you can practically apply right after or during your watching the video, and start seeing the results either immediately or soon enough so that you don't have to question it. You just experience it directly. The experiment I'm going to talk about is designed to do just that. It is loosely based on the work of Masaru Emoto, who has conducted experiments with water, and many of you might have already heard about him. What he was doing is he had participants send intentions into the water, and then he would use a rapid freezing technique to freeze that water and analyze the snowflakes or water molecules. Pardon me for not researching it very thoroughly, but the research can be found online. So if you're curious, you can easily find exactly the methodology and you can view the results. The reason why I can't just refer you to the research and say, look, this works, you can look at the pictures of the snowflakes and see for yourself that the ones that bad things were projected into, they turned out kind of ugly and gross looking, and the ones that positive intent was projected into, they look very beautiful and shiny and sparkling. There's actually two reasons why this is not enough, especially for a skeptical mind. And one reason is because you only see it in pictures, and pictures can be fabricated, videos can be fabricated. And the other reason is because there is some speculation that Emoto might have cherry-picked the results. Out of many thousands, he picked the ones that confirm his narrative, which I don't know if that's true. Maybe, maybe not. But it doesn't really matter, because there's something you can do yourself and show to yourself once and for all whether or not your conscious intent affects reality. What you will need for the experiment is 2 jars of equal size and material. Make sure they have a lid or a cork so you can seal them for the duration of the experiment. Equal amounts of filtered water and uncooked rice. I'm using measuring cups and a kitchen scale just for the sake of accuracy, because I'm doing this for a video, so I want the experiment to be as pure as possible. But you don't have to follow me exactly. Just eyeballing the amounts is okay. Another thing to keep in mind is the storage conditions, because those have to be equal too. So temperature, humidity, and UV light have to be the same for both jars when you store them. I wouldn't recommend putting them side by side. For the purity of experiment, I recommend separating them somewhat, but keeping them in the same conditions in terms of, again, humidity, temperature, and light. And so what you do once your setup is ready and you have 2 jars with equal amounts of uncooked rice and water, I would say more water, less rice, but it's really up to you. And they are clearly and properly labeled. You can begin the experiment. I am running the experiment for 30 days, but you can start seeing the evidence much earlier than that, depending on humidity, temperature, and light, because those things affect the speed of decay. And so 30 days is a good number to make sure that results are visible. But you don't have to do it for that long. Now for the actual experiment, what you're going to do is once a day, you're going to take out one of the jars, and for a minute or so, you can set a timer. That's what I do. I set a timer for a minute. And so you do that, and if it's the jar labeled for negative intentions, thoughts, words, for 1 minute, you say negative things to the jar. You can either say them out loud, project them, you can say things directly to the jar, or you can find things that upset you at the moment and mentally give them to the jar. You can think of situations that you find upsetting and project them into the jar. The exact method, you can experiment and find out what works for you. But the most important thing is that for that minute, all the jar receives from you is negativity. Please try to avoid apologizing to the negative jar, at least until the end of experiment, because it will contaminate the experiment. Take a minute to reset, take a few deep breaths and reset your intention. Set the timer again for a minute, and this time take out the positively charged jar and then project loving thoughts into it, loving thoughts and intentions. And again, you can directly compliment the jar. You can think about things that you love, people that are close to you, your favorite activities, symbols that represent beauty and love and gratitude for you, like sunshine. Again, whatever works best for you. If you don't find yourself particularly creative and imaginative, you can just repeat over and over words like love, gratitude, beauty. Even that is going to be enough. What is supposed to happen, assuming mind does directly affect matter, is that the positive intention jar is supposed to remain clear and less decayed relative to the negative jar, while the negative jar should appear much more muddy and with a lot more mold and stuff swimming around in there. Even though I will be doing the experiment myself, I will be posting the process on my Instagram, which will be linked down below. So you will see pictures I take daily. And also 30 days from the release of this video, I will make another video which will be the final report, where I will show a slideshow composed out of the pictures I would take over the 30 days. And so you will see the final result and my final thoughts and conclusions. But that being said, I still encourage you to also do it yourself, because even if you watch my video and even if you trust me that there's no foul play, that I'm not mixing stuff into the water, you can't just take my word for it 100%. There's always going to be a kernel of doubt. But if you do it yourself and you experience it directly, and the expected result does happen, where you will see clear difference between the two jars, it is going to have a profound effect on you and your perception of reality and your thoughts and intentions. And also I have some other exciting stuff in the works, so I'd appreciate if you come back and check my other videos as well. Share this one with those that you think would be also interested. Check out the links below, such as the Instagram that I mentioned, my website, and other stuff that I link down there. If you liked the video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.